people, my name is Anja. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is my recent reads video, which means that I'm going to talk about all the books that I most recently read. And this new series was inspired by Haley in Bookland, who's one of my favorite booktubers, because she's the first booktuber that I ever started watching, and she introduced me to all my other favorite booktubers, such as Stories for Coffee, aka Olivia, who also does videos like this. But yeah, Haley is just so sweet and so cute and so funny, and when I was accumulating books for this list, I looked at her videos to see what framework, what format I should do these in. So basically what I'm going to be doing is giving you a mini spoiler-free review for each of these books. And this is the third time that I'm filming this, but it's fine. It's okay. So the first book that I'd like to talk about is called The Door at the End of the World, written by Carlson. It's juvenile fantasy, and it's about a young girl who must find a way to stop a dangerous force that threatens the fate of the 8 worlds. So it does deal with the multiverse theory, which I think is very, very cool, and it was very action-packed and super intriguing. However, the characters felt kind of mundane to me, they weren't. I was more interested in the plot of this book than the characters. So even though the characters weren't underdeveloped, they just weren't. I wasn't super interested in them, you know? I don't know if I'm making any sense. I never know if I am or not. Anyway, so overall I would like this book 3 stars, but it was a good book and I would recommend it to the juvenile fantasy audience. Just maybe it's just not the vibe for me because I'm no longer in that audience. I don't know why I'm trying to justify why I'm rating this book 3 stars. There's no reason for me to justify that. I just didn't like it as much as I wish I would, and that's okay. That's totally fine. So yeah, that's the first book. The second book that I read most recently is A Boy Called Bat, written by Elana K. Arnold. This book is juvenile contemporary, and it's about a young boy who wants to adopt a bat. So it's very simplistic, which is why I rated it 2 stars. It's very it's a cute, fun story, and the boy is autistic, so that's nice for autistic representation. Love that. But overall, it was just very simplistic, which is why I rated it 2 stars, and which is why this review for this one is so short, because there's nothing much to talk about really. So like I said, very simplistic, very cute, but very simplistic. So as per usual, I don't have golden owl, I just have orange owl. Anyway, the next book that I most recently read is The Sky is Everywhere, written by Jandy Nelson. This is the first book that I've ever read by Jandy Nelson, and I know she's written another book which got a lot of hype called I'll Give You the Sun, and honestly, after reading The Sky is Everywhere, I would consider reading her other book, because I really liked Jandy's pervasive prose. I liked the way that she wrote. However, I didn't really Okay, so The Sky is Everywhere, if you didn't know, is about a girl who's grieving her sister's death, and she finds herself between 2 guys, one of which is her sister's boyfriend. And I didn't really like the amount of romance that was in the story, because I was really hoping, since she's grieving, that the main relationship that would be the center of this book would be the sister relationship between Lenny and Bailey. Bailey's the sister who's dead. Lenny's the protagonist. But instead, I feel like Jandy focused more on the romance, and I'm not an expert on grief or anything like that, but I just felt the endgame romance was really unnecessary, and I didn't really like it. It kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Again, like I said, I'm not an expert on grief. I've never grieved anybody before, luckily, but I just felt that to be really unnecessary, and I don't regret reading the book, like I said, because I did really like Jandy's prose, and I would still consider reading Jandy's other book. I just didn't really like that element. So overall, I rated The Sky is Everywhere 3 stars. So yes. The next book that I most recently read was The Mostly True Story of Jack, written by Barnhill. If you didn't know, I read The Girl Who Drank the Moon, written by Kelly, at the beginning of 2019. So I suppose it's fitting that I'm reading another book by her at the beginning of 2020. So The Mostly True Story of Jack is about a young boy named Jack who moves in to live with his aunt and uncle, only to discover that everybody in this peculiar, weird town is anticipating his arrival, even though he's never been there before. But like they want him for something, and he doesn't know what's going on. And of course, weird stuff starts happening. And I really liked the plot. It was very like action-packed, intriguing plot. It was so like interesting and intriguing. How many times am I going to say intriguing? And like unpredictable. And I did not predict any of the plot twists. And it was just really good. Like I really enjoyed the plot. How many times am I going to say that? And the characters were diverse and developed, and that was really solid. So overall, this was the best book that I read over the course of the past few days, and I rated it 4 stars because it was like really good. And yeah, I don't know what else to add to this without repeating myself. But basically, you should read this book, and you should read The Girl Who Drank the Moon. Personally, I prefer The Girl Who Drank the Moon, but still, Kelly Barnhill has a good reputation, and I'm excited to see what she's going to write next. The next book that I most recently read was Nameless Queen, written by Rebecca McLaughlin, I think. This book came out like very, very recently. I think it came out last week or something, so not many people have actually read it, but a lot of people have been interested in it. So when I put a 2-week hold on it, the day that it came out, and then I read it recently, I was very like intrigued about it as well. It's a royal fantasy, and it's about a girl who comes from the bottom of the pile, the Nameless, and then she becomes queen through these unlikely circumstances. And I liked this book. I didn't love it. I'm not a huge fan of royalty books because they tend to be the same sort of story. Those tend to be very predictable. And this book kind of fell into the same rut because there's nothing super special about it, hence why I'm only giving it a 3 out of 5 stars. And I did really like that Coin was an underdog and she came from the bottom of the pile and she rose to the top. So that was interesting because most of the royalty books I've read, like all the people who do become royalty, come from the same vein as their counterparts. So that was unique. And I liked the strong female friendships that happened. And I liked the lack of a romantic subplot. So that was cool. And yeah. But like overall, it wasn't anything super special or amazing. So again, 3 out of 5 stars. It's YA fantasy, like I mentioned. And this is the second YA book on this list. The first one being The Sky is Everywhere. So yeah. Like I said, I would recommend The Nameless Queen. Like it was a good story and I don't regret reading it. It just wasn't spectacular or anything, you know? So yeah. Last book on this list is The Collectors, written by Jacqueline West. Jacqueline West, I believe, is a juvenile fiction author. I don't think she's written any YA, but don't quote me on that. Anyway, this book is about a young boy named Van who's age of age, so that was some nice representation that I've never really read about before. And he's the kind of person who notices the small things that people don't. And he learns about these group of people called the Collectors, hence the title, and they collect people's wishes. And so he learns about that, and he also learns about, this book talks about the gray area between good and bad morals, and I think that that is really important, and that is the part of this book that hooked me in initially, because I think that's really important to talk about in juvenile fiction, because when you're young, you don't really know what to believe, really. You don't know this, you don't realize this when you're younger, but when you're younger, you're just believing whatever your parents tell you to believe, because you don't really know why things are right and why things are wrong. You just believe them because your parents tell you what's right and what's wrong, and until you're a little bit older, you don't like figure out your own morals and your own values and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So The Collectors, which was a really nice, imaginative book, I really did enjoy it. I rated it 3 stars, which I know sounds like the majority of the books on this list are rated 3 stars, aside from that and The Mostly True Story of Jack. But like that's not bad. Like that's pretty good. It's right in the middle. It means that I didn't regret reading it. I didn't regret DNFing it. And it was a good book. It just wasn't my cup of tea. So yeah, I would recommend reading the collectibles if you're a fan of juvenile fantasy, if you're a leader of juvenile fantasy, especially if you're in that audience. It wasn't my cup of tea, which is totally fine. Like, we all have different opinions, like I said, and I don't have to justify me disliking a book just because the general consensus likes it, you know? So, yeah. I've been in a mental slump today, so it's not really the best time for me to be filming, but, you know, I told myself to make this outro, so here I am. So, anyway, I read 6 books this past week from Wednesday to Monday. I read 2 contemporary books and 4 fantasy books. I read two YA books and 4 juvenile fiction books. So, there you have it. That's kind of like the basis of what I read. I read a mixture of fantasy and contemporary, and a mixture of YA and juvenile fiction, which is also called middle grade. It just depends on which tone you're more familiar with. But yeah, that's what you should expect from these recent reads videos. I hope you enjoyed this one because this is the start of something new, which was not meant to be a High School Musical, the series reference, but it is now. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you continue to watch the rest of these. Yeah. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Comment down below which one of these books interested you the most. The books will be in the description below so that you guys can go check them out. My Goodreads is also in the description below. I don't think I wrote any full reviews for any of these books. But yeah, my reading month of January has gone off to a pretty good start, I'd say. I'm hoping to make these recent reads videos weekly. But yeah, thanks for watching.